Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Thunder. This is Two Dads React, and that's my collaboration with Tony from God Rules. And we approach uh, world events and disasters and, events like yesterday's eclipse. And we view it from a Christian worldview. And there's a lot of we get our tinfoil hat out and we tune into Tokyo and all of that stuff. We get a word from beyond. And I told you on this past Thursday that we were changing our show from a Thursday show to a Tuesday show. And of course, that was God willing, as long as the world did not end yesterday with the eclipse, and it didn't end. But Tony and I have been wearing our tinfoil cap all day long, and even when we were viewing the eclipse, so we could get a very clear signal from beyond. And we have much to report to you. So, we are. Even a hearty belly laughed in the handbasket going directly to HE double hockey sticks. We have a good time. We are. What is the song? Something about a highway to HE double hockey sticks or something. Anyhow, no, we're not on the way to HE double hockey sticks. That's just you. You guys are all going to. No. We're not saying that. We're not saying that. But we have a good time. Today's show, fakes exposed, earthquakes, locusts, and red heifers. What is going on? Nobody likes a fake, right? It conjures up images of that sort of meme from Family Guy when that guy keeps trolling, pointing at Peter, saying that he's a big fat phony. He's a phony, big fat phony. Everybody hates fakes. So, fakes exposed, and there have been a spattering, not just a spattering, a multitude of earthquakes seeming to be closely related to this eclipse in timing. Really quite devastating, powerful earthquakes. Even one in, New Jersey, in New York or whatever, that was pretty strong. And locusts, of course, we know about the cicadas. We talked a little bit about that. We'll probably talk a little bit more about the cicadas. And what's up with these red heifers? What's up with the red heifers? So apparently maybe some connection to, I don't know, the new Messiah? I don't know. Something to do with Israel and some sacrificing and whatnot. So hey, we're here to discuss this and more. We are at a new day, same time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But new day now. Two Dads React is a Tuesday night show. So mark your calendar, and we hope that you'll make Tuesdays at 10:30 p.m. your new favorite spot to tune in Tokyo and get your tinfoil hat out and spiracy it up with two dads. Let's go. Warning: some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. What's happening, everybody? Like the video, like, share, comment, subscribe, become a channel member where you'll get access to all archived videos. Support independent media. Super chats enabled. Super thanks for the Replay Gang, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Dr. Thunder Music, all one word. Spell out the word doctor. And if you'd like to feed me a sandwich, then please hit the Cash App. Sandwich Gang in the building. And without further ado, two dads react. What is happening? What's happening?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. I don't think I did the warning. Let me do the warning. Warning.
Yeah.
Some view. Oh, okay. All right.
You already
I was just
did.
making sure.
Yep. Making
All
sure you
right.
got the warning out there.
All right.
Yeah. So of course
sure.
you're still here. You're still here, man. You didn't get eaten by cicadas.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't vaporize when I looked up. I didn't just vaporize. And I guess there's a video now that's trending on TikTok where apparently a total idiot blinded himself by looking directly at the sun without any protective goggles. Some kid.
Oh, it's a kid. Okay.
Well, not a little kid, like a college age kid.
Oh, okay.
Somebody that should know better. Okay.
No, I heard stories like this before. Yeah.
Blinds himself.
Videos
himself experimenting with how long he could look at the sun. I don't know what the heck. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I heard stories like this when I was in college too, man. Like there's like a dare between three guys staring at the sun, and one of them was permanently blind. You know, the other one was like mostly blind. The other one was like partially, and like just stare for minutes on end, you know, at the sun. So
I just don't know what I don't get it.
It's just like these stories. I heard a story about someone on a cruise ship, and they just jump off the side, and then they can't find them. And of course, they do it in the Caribbean where there's all these sharks. Like between Florida and below, it's like tons of sharks. Like, yeah, let's jump off it. You know, they're like 20-year-olds. They jump off, you never see them again. They're shark food.
Yeah.
You know, they're shark food.
Hey, have you ever done the bungee jumping?
No, wait. No, I've done the one where you're on a rope and you slide. I haven't done that.
Okay, yeah. So that seems less dangerous.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm not sure that. I don't think I'll ever bungee jump. I've there's a precise measurement with how long the bungee cable has to be, and all it has to be is like some one of these college students that didn't take the math class they were supposed to take, and then all the I don't know.
You're gonna touch the ground before it stretches. You're gonna hit the water really hard.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. I can see it.
Anyhow. All right. Somebody is asking us to join here. This is he says, "Hey, please join the Seventh Day Adventist Church," and I'm going to say no, thank you. But to each his own, I guess.
My cousin joined it. I actually predicted she would join it because she was very, very anti-Catholic, and she is very spiracy oriented. And she was spiracy oriented like way before I was, like way back in the old days. And I was like, "You sound like a Seventh-day Adventist." Like, she's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "You sound just like one. I bet you're going to join it." And then she joined it later. I was like, of course, I'm not exactly super positive about the Catholic Church. If you watch my videos, I say a lot of things too, but
I know. I'm less harsh on the Catholic Church, although of course I'm Orthodox, and I happen to believe that that's the thing, And so, to the extent that they disagree with the Orthodox, I would have an issue. Anyhow, okay. So, we're here. We got 58 people in the house. Please like the video. That's critically the most important thing that you can do for the program. It helps to push the video into the algorithm and gets more viewers in here, gets more people. If you want people to come and check this out, if you want more folks to get hip to the show, hit that like button. That's going to be a great way to help us. All right, so here let's go ahead and jump into some stuff here. Let's see, what do I got for us? Let's see, what is this? Okay, let's talk about some earthquakes. Let's see here. This is so on April 8th at 1:48 p.m. apparently.
Really?
So so we're talking about yesterday near San Andreas.
8.7.
Or I'm sorry, right, 8.7. So let's see
That's
what they
really
talk
big.
about. Yeah. So no, so obviously they're talking about when they say 1:48 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time.
Dude, I predicted this. Like, I wasn't even trying to. I was just guessing. I'm like, you know what? We had these. I mentioned an 8 some earthquake back in like 1830, and it was when there was an asteroid in the sky and a solar eclipse at the same time. And I mentioned we have the Devil's Comet and we have a solar eclipse, so I'm guessing that maybe there'll be some earthquakes. And we had multiple. And he had this 8.7, which I didn't even know about because I've been so busy today. I didn't even have a chance to look. I didn't have a chance to look at anything. I was so busy. But yeah, that's pretty crazy, man.
Okay, so let's keep going, see what they're talking
All
about.
right,
After the
man.
total
All
eclipse,
right.
straight up at all times.
Okay. So it's more of that. So, a little bit of proselytizing. I suppose it doesn't hurt anybody. But yeah, 8.7, and again, the time it hit, let's look at that again. The time it hit, 1:48 p.m. April 8th, 2024. That was yesterday. And this is 1:48 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And
So that'd be about the time that'll be about the time it was actually an eclipse over where I lived, almost a little bit after that, because it was like 3 p.m. 3:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where I live when it was
it was
eclipsing.
3:13 where I live. It was 3:13 p.m. Yeah, so that would have been what is he? So 3. Oh yeah, so that would have been a couple hours after. Is that right?
Wait, what standard time are you on? You're on
Eastern.
You're Eastern too. Yeah,
time.
because you're east to me. You're on the Ohio.
Right. So yeah, so I mean, what, it was an hour and a half later or something? Something like that.
Yeah. The thing is like, my whole theory was, and it's been my theory for a long time, is that what we're seeing is an electromagnetic interference. So when you have the moon go in front of the sun, it actually causes an electromagnetic interference. And that's why there's a experiment they couldn't figure out called the Foucault pendulum that changes its direction during a solar eclipse. And they haven't figured it out for like 100 years. Scientists have tried to figure out why it changes its direction. And my theory is that it's because we're in an electromagnetic universe. This is what Nikola Tesla was saying as well, that gravity is an electromagnetic property. They're saying that the Foucault pendulum follows the spin of the Earth, but why would it change angular direction during a solar eclipse unless it's not following the spin of the Earth, but it's following electromagnetic patterns. And when the moon goes in front of the sun, it causes electromagnetic disturbance, which could cause earthquakes. This is why I think earthquakes happen during them. So,
okay, so here's this next one is an earthquake. So this is an earthquake update, and you can see like this the sphere, of course, is the Earth, and you can see like all of these places where they're indicating that earthquakes are happening or about to happen, just happened around the same period of time or whatever. It says earthquake update April 8th to 2024. Hold on, it's not over yet. It's just the beginning.
Earthquake update April 8th, 2024. Hold on, it's not over yet. It's just the beginning.
So it's like a exaggerated kind of like showing like really big, like like even the smallest earthquakes, or what's going on
Yeah,
there? I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I've seen that channel before. Someone mentioned Dutchinese. I think I've seen this channel before on various times. I think that's where it comes from. Is that channel?
Okay, here we go. Here's one I wanted to show too. Here, let me get rid of this. Let's do this. We got our Locust Watch 2. We got all kind of stuff. So here's a earthquake that happened April 5th. So this is April 5th. So, a few days ago. Yeah, so that was in New York.
Okay, that was New York. All right.
And
Yeah, there's
I've got some footage. Let me play this one footage I've got here of somebody that was in New Jersey, and it's in their house. Let me see if I've got to find it. Hold up. Give me a second here. No, not that.
We're going to talk about some of these fakes too, or some of the fakes.
Yeah, we gotta get the fakes happening. Oh, here's New Jersey. The same day. This is actually not the one I was looking for, but I'll show this one, and then you show us some stuff. Maybe you can show us some fakes. And let's see here. Let me get rid of this. I got a few videos. Let's see here. Here, check this out. So this is in a classroom. Now, actually, one thing I was actually pretty amazed at is how fast the kids hopped right to action. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Like this is like they train these kids well. Watch this.
To do something that you know is bad, and then Ian finally just shared with them. Cover your mouth with your shirt. Everybody okay? Yeah. Stay underneath. You were due for a big earthquake. That was the biggest earthquake I've ever felt in my life. So we're okay. Everybody's okay, right? Stay underneath the table. Everybody okay?
Breathe in.
Stay underneath the table.
All I can say is holy crap. Did they cancel school today?
That's probably not the first thing we need to be worried about right now.
I'm still going.
Yep, stay underneath. Just making sure everyone's okay. Good reaction, guys. Get straight under the table.
Listen in case there's announcements.
Yep.
So how many
right on cue, one of the kids asks, "Are they going to cancel school today?" They're still under the desk. The kid is asking about.
That's my son right there.
Cancel school.
That's my son right there. He would ask for that right away. He'd be like, "Can I get out of school?" He doesn't like, that's how he is. This is something I wanted to talk about. A couple things I found. I actually just put up videos on my channel talking about some of this stuff, but this is something they just recently did on the 4th. They launched salt crystals into the atmosphere in California. Why did they do this? Okay, this is in the magazine Scientific American. So this is like revered, publication. So what are they doing? They're actually trying to they're trying to reflect the sun back away from Earth. So this is what I was talking about before on my channel, where they want to dim the sun. So they're literally putting things up in the atmosphere to make it so there's less sunlight coming into Earth. And they first did this, and they quietly did this test. And this isn't the only secret thing that's happened recently. I'm going to show another one in a minute as well. It's kind of weird when you look into it, but so this again, they were trying to. So some of the stuff they were doing to solve climate change. One, cut down trees, cut down forests, and bury them. This is one of the plans that they had that they've been doing. There's actually a company doing that right now. Another one to save the planet was to get rid of the sun by, blocking the
Oh,
sun
come
or
on,
dimming the
man.
sun. And I was like, I kept telling people that follow my channel, I'm like, this reminds me of the movie The Matrix. We have AI robots now, and that actually is the other story. We'll get into that in a second. We have AI robots. They in the Matrix movie, they destroyed the sky, and it was like dark all the time, and there's like no plant life, there's no animal life. It's just like this barren wasteland with like AI robots flying around. That's the movie The Matrix. And I've been saying, like, are they trying to go that direction? And then the more stories come out go in that direction, and they're saying they're saving the earth by doing this. Perhaps an AI is saving the earth from us. I'm just joking, kind of, but like maybe I'm wrong, not wrong, because the other story, and this actually happened too. Statue of Liberty got hit by lightning. I don't know if you guys saw that, but the other story is about Apple, the company Apple. They recently were secretly building something, building home robots. And then you might ask yourself, why would they be secret about that? Like, wouldn't they want everybody to know they're building robots? Like, Elon Musk came out saying, I'm going to build robots, right? So what's the big
Mhm.
deal? Why would they hide this? Then you look at the other, let me show you why. Apple's secretly working on AI robot that follows you around the house. So now ask yourself, why would you want a robot to follow you around the house? And you'll probably have a hard time thinking of any reason why you'd want a robot to follow you around the house. So why is it following you around the house? The only thing I can think of is like you have a kid that's really messy and he just keeps dropping stuff. The robot picks it up, or maybe like you got a secretary, like the robot's like your secretary following you around taking notes or
or
something,
like a or like a like I'm sorry to say this, like a
like a
girlfriend or
spouse,
something.
a spouse. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I was thinking more like it's just like keeping tabs on you or something. Like, what did you say today, Johnny? Oh, you said the wrong word. Oh, your credit score went down. You can't get in the refrigerator
That's
anymore.
right.
You know, uh,
We just turned off your electricity for 2 weeks.
oh, I'm sorry. No electricity today. And to give you an idea how ridiculous this stuff is, in China, there's this guy, and I saw this on a karate show. Like, I was watching one of these videos on YouTube. This guy goes around basically disgracing all these masters. You know how you got like masters of different kinds of kung fu? And they call it kung fu in China, which means like martial arts in China or something. So they have all these different, Tai Chi, which is actually not really a fighting style, but they'll have like karate, all these different styles, right? And he'll go around. This guy was going around. He's like a mixed martial artist. He would go around and beat up all the masters. He'd literally go to a dojo, challenge them, and just kick his butt. And his social credit score went down super low. He couldn't even get on a train. Like, because he was going around beating up all these masters, China started giving him really low credit score because they want to exalt these masters for some reason. So he couldn't even get on a train anymore. He couldn't even get food hardly. He's like the lowest score in China or something, just because he beats up these fake masters, these fake Chinese martial artist guys. So That, I mean, it could be something simple that you don't even have to say the wrong thing. You just got to do something they don't like. Just beating up fake masters will do it even. So, but what can you think of another reason why I would want to follow you around the house other than a fake spouse, I guess? Or I mean, what else could there be?
I don't know, maybe just learning your behaviors
So is
it
this
can
going to be like
predict
your new
so it can
wife?
predict. I don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
man.
you learn your behaviors. Yeah, that's a good one.
You remember I did it. I think I told you I did a show on my. I've got a morning show, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I talked about AI girlfriends, and yeah,
Well, they're going to
it's
take your
pretty
job.
creepy. It's pretty creepy, but the technology is actually pretty close to there. So
It
if you
is.
think
It
about it,
is.
right? So if you think about it, you've got they already have AI virtual girlfriends like in an app where it learns your behaviors and things. Now, if you combine that with a chip that was in your brain, so that the AI girlfriend could basically read your thoughts and predict what it is that you want. So then, it's like buying you stuff and you get a package from Amazon. Oh, thank you so much. Cuz it's like reading your brain. Um you never argue, you never have, you know, issues or whatever. And in the video that in one of the videos I covered, this guy actually combined the sort of AI technology um, in this thing that was constantly learning him with a sex doll. So he actually, so it's in robotics. So now he's it
He put it in
he
his.
was
He
talking
put
about
Chat
getting
GPT in his robot. Yeah. That
pretty
seems to be like
much.
a very common thing we're hearing now. They're even doing this with restaurants. See, everybody was talking about the new $20 minimum wage in California. Now they're actually talking about replacing the workers with robots, and they're already doing it. They had fully automated AI restaurant like 2 months ago in California. So, and of course, Elon Musk is saying that he predicts AI will be smarter than humans next year, and he's backing his words because he made a lawsuit against Sam Altman like earlier this year. Why? He says they've already achieved general, what is it called? General, basically they've already achieved AI smarter than human. He says that in a law, he actually sued him over it, that they've already achieved it. He's suing them because they're not admitting it, and he wants to have protections for people. Because of course, if you have AI in 2 years, super smart, can do anything, your job is like you could lose your job, you could lose everything. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't realize it. They think, oh, whatever, dude, it's never going to happen. And I mean, they're like talking like 70% of the jobs could be gone, like soon. It could be a decade from now. There's like hardly any work for people because all these stupid robots are taking all the jobs. And this is not what I'm trying to talk about, but I just thought it's really weird that he's doing this secret program to make robots follow you around the house. What is this? Like then they're gonna have like policemen. It's gonna be just like T2. You're gonna have like policemen. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger robot. You know what I mean? And you know what's gonna happen, dude. It's like so obvious. I mean, you can just tell
Yeah,
yourself it
this
ain't gonna
is
happen. But I'm the one. I've predicted so many things that have happened over the last decade. I predicted that they were going to be able to surf the internet with their mind. Elon Musk has almost already achieved that. I predicted that almost 15 years ago on YouTube. It was like I think it was like 12 years ago. It was like 2012 or 20 something somewhere around there. I predicted that, but and that was way before they were doing any of that stuff. So I think it's going to really happen, and people are just not realizing. And this is not exactly the topic of this video, but I just think it's interesting all this stuff's happening. Honestly, I hope that God can turn this around, because I think there is something happening right now with this whole solar eclipse and everything and all these earthquakes. I think it's God pointing out a message that he's sick of what's going on, and perhaps he's going to be fixing things soon. It might not be in the way you had hoped. Hopefully it's not really bad, but I think something's going to happen. That's my theory. But
yeah, second coming of Christ.
that'd be a good
The
solution.
great
That's actually the best one right there. But
the great white throne judgment. That's what's
It could be
coming.
something, a little bit more nefarious, like World WAR or something. Hopefully not, but I mean, yeah, I'll take Jesus coming back. That sounds good.
No,
I'll
nuclear
take that one.
holocaust. No,
Yeah,
I
that sounds a
shouldn't
little
say
worse. That sounds a little worse.
I'm
No, we
sorry.
got AI robot nuclear holocaust. Yeah,
Oh goodness, right.
yeah.
The
Come on, Skynet, bro.
right.
Skynet.
Skynet is aware.
This is what
That's
I was
what's.
saying. Look, I was saying earlier, why are they trying to bury all the trees and dim the sun? Is AI already running stuff and just pretending? We got this little robot Biden that he's got like an AI in the background telling him what to do in his earbuds or something.
If it was AI, it would be a lot sharper than Biden. Anyhow,
No,
sorry
but
to
it's
say.
making fun of humans. It's making fun of us. Like, look, because you got this president.
Oh, right. It's dumbing it down. It's dumbing itself down so it would be believable. Right.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm just joking, everybody. I'm joking. I'm just making up stuff. It's fun though.
All right, let's see here. We've got, what do I got here? Okay. We're still talking about earthquakes a little bit, so here I got a
This
little
could be
bit more
part with the
earthquake
CERN too.
footage.
Someone's mentioning CERN. It could have something to do with that. A lot of this weird stuff going on. You never know. But Henry, go ahead, man. I'll take P. Oh, that is not a good place to be. Oh, what happens? Hey, bro.对，我赶快先躲到这个。哦，差点GG！啊！哎，不是吧？What? How many of these were there? How many earthquakes were there? What? Oh no！完了，我们要救援了。Do you know how many earthquakes there were total? I mean, it sounds like there's quite a few at this point.
Well, that was footage of the
earliest one
7.4 in what was that in
Taiwan.
Taiwan? Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see
so
here.
Taiwan, New York, New Jersey, and then the New York, New Jersey, the same one. Taiwan, New York, and the one in California. We got April 9th. Oh, there's one today too. Where is this? Indonesia?
Yeah, so, right. So this is right 2:48 a.m. April 9. So let's see what this is talking about.
Magnitude 6.6 earthquake has just struck between southern islands of the Philippines and Tobelo, Indonesia in the Molucca Sea. Good news, no tsunami was generated and far away from a large population base.
So, okay, a lot of people don't realize, but this one in New York was like the largest one in a long time. And the one in Taiwan was one of the largest as well. And then you said an 8.7 in California. That has to be a pretty big. I don't think that's like a normal number, is it? 8.7? That's pretty high, isn't it? For earthquake as well. But did you hear about the story about the guy getting a vasectomy during the earthquake?
No.
That's like bad
That's
timing.
Not great. That is terrible. That does
there's
not
a
sound
story
good.
I can show real quick here. Guy gets a vasectomy during East Coast earthquake.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be, and apparently it was right when it was happening too. So the doctor actually had to stop, and the guy actually woke up while it was happening too. So he
no, no,
like,
no, no, no. The doc should have been like, "Hey, no, no, no. It's okay. I can still do it with the earthquake. I'm good. I'm good."
snipped it all off. Whoops.
Hey, why, I'm steady. I'm all right. Oh, I can sew that back on later.
Hey, now you can just choose what gender you are any day you want, man. You can just, turn it off, put it back on, put it off, It's one of those
Oh
things.
goodness, that's not good. That's not good.
Bad
Let's
jokes.
see here. I've got this here. Let me
Dad
play this.
jokes.
All right, so this is
Locusts.
cicadas, but this is cicadas, obviously from a different, because this
I think I've
hasn't
seen
happened
this.
yet.
I saw
Right.
this video before. This was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
from
This,
a couple years
yeah,
back,
from,
I think.
yeah. This is from years ago, but this is to give us an idea of what we're talking about.
Wasn't this in Russia? I think this was in Russia or something, or like over there in the that area, sort of like Ukraine or something. It was like 2020 or 2021, or I can't remember. I've seen this before, I think.
Yeah,
That's a
they've got
lot,
these
dude.
big bags. They've got these big bags, like nets, and they're like catching a bunch of them. I don't know. They're going to eat them or something. I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
eat cicada burgers, man. Cicada
That
burgers.
is great. That is so gross.
Yeah. Gotta eat the bugs, man. Eat the bugs. I just
That's
saw a
right.
show.
High in
There's a
protein.
show called there's a show called From. It's like kind of a scary show a little bit, sort of a sci-fi show a little bit. And I just turned on. I hadn't watched it in like months, and I just turned it on. And the episode I was watching was cicadas taking out three dudes, cicadas. So I'm like, wow, that's great. Right after this, solar eclipse and all the cicada stories, and then I see this show about basically people dying from them. I don't think it's realistic, but I don't think it would happen like that. But it was it's sci-fi anyway, so you know.
All right. Where you where you want to go next? What do you
I don't
got?
know, man. No, you got some stuff on fake dudes. We're talking about like people getting like. Well, what about fresh and fit? What about that? You want to talk about that, or which are we talking about with fake guys?
Sure. I mean,
I
basically,
wouldn't
what
say he's
happened was,
fake, but I just think he got kind of caught there. Kind of like that guy with the vasectomy. He just got kind of caught.
yeah. Well, basically, what happened there is you have two guys in, Myron and Fresh, and Myron has had a similar sort of scare at one point in time. But you have two guys that are basically on top of the world, okay, and they're young guys, and their platform is based on basically having loose women around them all the time. Very
Yeah.
attractive, young, loose women all the time. And I said on Sunday in I've got a program called Case Closed, and it's a panel show, all-star panel, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I said, frankly, most men would not do well in that situation.
Yeah, I think you're right about
Most
that.
men would utterly fail. They probably wouldn't just have, I guess
If you're
maybe
gay, it might
there's
work out if you're gay or something. I mean,
well, most men three or four simultaneous scares would be nothing, right? They
yeah,
probably have
it's like a
50 or
rock star.
60.
It's like a rock star, having all these women around you. It's the same kind of idea. Like it's temptation nonstop. Yeah, I was thinking kind of like that's what it seemed like to me as well. But we were talking about other things though. What we were referring to by fake. We were talking about people in the certain movement here or something.
Uh, no, I don't. I don't know. I mean, I
I was trying
actually
to remember
don't
what you
have
were.
any. I don't actually have any videos for the fake part. I mean, I've got some stuff for locusts and red heifers and
The Heifers.
you know, and I played a bunch of earthquake stuff. But do you have anything else
I have one.
you want to cover?
I mentioned, this Christ is, king thing, that whole thing. I find it really interesting because of the timing with this solar eclipse. The fact that solar eclipse was basically about, um, it was about going through all these areas like Nineveh and Jonah. Also, I saw something today was really ridiculous. There was this guy who made a graphic. I don't have it in front of me, where it shows that all these shootings were right along the solar eclipse as well. It's like crazy. I'm like, what? It's like really
Hmm.
weird. So it really makes you wonder, like, what does this mean? I don't have
Hmm.
that graphic in front of me, but you could probably look it up on Twitter or something. I'm sure someone put it up on there, but it shows like all these different bad events that happen right along the line like that. But
Hmm.
what I was saying is, though, you have the story of Jonah, right? And I think that I think this is something spiritual going on, because with the story of Jonah, a solar eclipse happened right when he got to Nineveh. And this went through like 8 Ninevehs essentially. And it went through a Jonah, Texas. I think God was saying that we're sort of like in a Jonah, like a Nineveh situation here. And then what happened in the story is that once the eclipse happened, that was when Jonah arrived. They had 40 days after that to change their ways, or the city would be removed and gone, like America will be gone potentially, or something will happen. So what I'm saying is, like, I think we have 40 days to, and this is just my interpretation of everything. I'm not saying thus saith anything or whatever. My interpretation is that it's God saying that, America, you've had 7 years. Now you got 40 days. And these 40 days, you got to change your ways. And of course, looking at that whole Christ is King thing, very strange it happened exactly when this happened. Same also with our wonderful, beloved president there, saying that he had a different holiday on Easter. He specifically put a different holiday on Easter. And then he told the kids, don't paint anything religious on the eggs. And this guy claims to be a Catholic, by the way, as well, which is pretty ridiculous. So he claims that he just accidentally put a rainbow, day on that day, just accidentally, of course. Um, I don't believe it was an accident, not at all. And I think it's like God saying, look, you go this direction or you can go my direction. And you got 40 days. So I'm thinking in 40 days, something's going to start happening. Uh, and perhaps it will be to the leadership, and maybe to just people in the church, whoever's like playing games, they're going to be found out. Something's going to happen. That's kind of my thoughts on it.
Hmm.
And we've already seen some of this happen. We have P Diddy, we have TD Jakes. I'm thinking TD Jakes is he's going to be one of them, man, because I keep hearing more and more with regards to him. Like, it's not just some little insignificant him going there one time thing. It sounds like there's more going on with that. But I mean, there's so many different corrupt pastors. You got so many different leaders, representatives that are corrupt. Could some of these people be found out, in the next 40 days, or after the 40 days are up, then it starts happening or something like that? You know what I mean? And it could be even worse. I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully it's not something much worse, like a world WAR or something. I hope it's not that, but hopefully it's something more positive.
Hey, I've got something here. You were this sort of can fit in the sort of fake category. Um, we've got basically, this a lot of this spiritism, spiritualism. Um, I was watching whatever podcast just a little bit earlier, and this OnlyFans model was claiming that she was spiritual in that she was able to basically manifest anything that she wanted because, you know, and so by just,
Oh, yeah.
these basically that's how she was basically able to get people to give her all this money and lavish gifts on her is because she's manifesting it,
That's just like some of these UFC
and
fighters say the exact same thing. They say, "Oh, I manifested it myself." I think, was it Conor McGregor? One of those guys. I think it was Conor. some of these guys do the exact same thing she's saying. I just Jake Paul does that too. Jake Paul, the guy that's fighting
Mm.
Tyson soon here. Oh, I manifest my own destiny. Yeah, right, dude. I think it's just moves. I mean, if she looked ugly, do you think she'd be manifesting it? You know what I mean? Give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Manifesting it. Okay, dude.
it's silly, and once more, it's actually just witchcraft. It's more like incantation. It's
I
more
think some of
like
it, probably
crystals
most of it
and
is. Yeah.
yeah, well, incantation, crystals, positive thoughts. A lot of that stuff is really witchcraft.
Well, you
Um,
could have positive thoughts and trust God and stuff like that, but that's different,
yeah,
than
no,
probably
no,
what
I'm
they're
talking
talking about.
about the belief
Yeah.
that
New Age.
yeah, the belief that if you only think certain thoughts and and if you say
Yeah.
certain things, that somehow that's going to actually it 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 see this OnlyFans model was
Manifest.
talking
Yeah,
about how
manifest. Right.
it causes her to resonate at a higher frequency, and that's what's actually attracting all of these good things to happen to her, like people giving her money and all this kind of stuff. But I want you to look at this, because this is solely along the same lines. And then they show how a lot of these other people, stars and stuff, they apparently are buying into a lot of the same stuff. So here, watch.
When I wore this bracelet, my friends literally laughed at me. But when I manifested a new car, a new home, and a boat, they stopped laughing. And when you find out what the bracelet is made of, you'll understand why. Because when this bracelet is worn, it triggers a chemical reaction in your subconscious, which causes you to manifest 100 times faster. In fact, this bracelet is worn by every major celebrity, and you've never heard of it because it's hidden in plain sight. And the reason it works so powerfully is because it's made of two of the most powerful gems in the world, lapis lazuli and satellite. These gems flip a switch in your brain's pineal gland, unlocking the universe to do exactly what you want, letting you manifest anything you can imagine. Be careful when you wear this bracelet because most people actually start crying instantly, but if you have the guts, you can try one to see powerful changes in your life. They have a lifetime guarantee, which means if at any point you don't feel its powerful energy working on you, you can return it and get your money back, no questions asked. Your next restock can take up to 12 months, so you need to claim one before they're all gone. Tap the link below to claim yours now.
She's not selling it, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like,
yeah.
why won't you stick it on your head then? If it's getting into your pineal gland's in your brain, dude. And of course, if you're still using fluoride toothpaste, it's probably not going to help you too much if that really was what I was doing, because fluoride gets all over it and then causes it to not work right or something. I don't know if you've heard that before, but your pineal gland is basically where you get DMT when you sleep. So that whole thing with Joe Rogan, DMT, taking DMT while you're awake, it's the same as what you get in your sleep, and it comes from your pineal gland. And I don't know anything about any rocks causing that I think that stuff's fake, but
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally phony, causing people, and of course, a scam, because now you're trying to sell people. They're gonna, sell people these items that aren't going to do anything, and
there is
then
something to positive mindset. But I mean, but if you're not in tune with God, I think it's going to be ultimately not good in some respects, at least, right? Or at
yeah,
least
I
it
mean,
could be in many respects.
yeah, I'm not. What I'm talking about is not just a positive mindset. Um, I'm talking about people that believe that if you say certain words in a certain way and just only that, and don't allow yourself to doubt, somehow that alone actually changes your
Okay,
environment.
this is
Has
interesting because okay, so like the word, so in the occult, they have a thing called a spell, right? And this is what you're kind of talking about. And actually, what they say is that, see, in our reality, they've separated science and religion. That is actually a spell on people. They think science and religion are separate. So what I'm trying to say is that when you watch a movie from Disney and it's on a story and they try to put something in the story that you don't like, but you want to keep watching it, this is a spell. So people don't think of movies as spells. They think of, oh, it's some woman with like a vat and some witch or something, right? But actually, a movie can be a spell. anything like
Mm.
because it gets your mind in a certain place, like what you see in social media about the whole thing with gender and all that. That's a spell they're trying to put on the American people. And so, and then one of the spells that's been put on the American people is that science and religion are separate when they're not. So
Right, right.
that's why,
Yep,
and I think that's also a design spell as well to get people to think they're
yep.
separate things,
Yeah,
and in
it's a
reality they're
false
not.
dichotomy. It's totally
Yeah.
false. Yep.
So all this stuff is a spell, and people don't realize and recognize it as witchcraft because they just see, it's just a scientist named Richard Dawkins. Yeah. No, actually, he's saying stuff that's a narrative. Like in the book of Enoch, it talks about these fallen angels would teach people how to write, teach people how to sing. So music can also be a spell in some cases. Music can be
Mm.
used for good or evil. So you could use it for good or evil with music, with movies, with narratives, stories. People don't realize that, and that's why things like books that have been written that are still even today influencing people, like Charles Darwin's Origin of Species or whatever. It could be any book, right?
You know, back to this, like the incantation and
Yeah.
special crystals and
Oh
all
yeah,
this
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Right.
See, part of this is that I have an issue with is it's like some baloney stuff because people just believe it because they think that they'll have a shortcut or like they won't have to work as hard. They won't have to do what everyone else does. And that they'll be special and they're favored. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, I don't like there's a thread of what I call Christianity light, you know, the modern stuff. There's a brand of that talks a lot about favor, as in rather than you actually doing the right things and following what God tells you to do, that God somehow will jump you ahead in the line, even in front of people that have been actually following his will and doing what they're supposed to do. But somehow he's just going to jump you in the line. And I don't think I don't think you can support that. I don't see that anywhere in scripture. I don't see a principle of basically find some shortcut. Everyone else had to do it this way. You can just expect that God is just going to, you know, jump you in the line in front of a bunch of people. Now, understand, there God could have a particular will for your life that puts you in a particular position because you're the person for that. I'm not talking against that. And much of what it is that we are in that we're able to do is not stuff that we really deserve. And it's not really stuff that we could work up to. I acknowledge that also. But what I don't think is healthy and good for Christians is this idea that somehow God is going to ignore his principles. He's going to ignore the law. He's going to ignore the effort and the faithfulness of others. He's going to treat that as filthy rags, and then take the OnlyFans model that 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 just that just got baptized, but her content is
Whoa,
still up,
that shit. Yeah,
and give her
I
the
know about
mic.
her too. Actually, that's a
Give her the
perfect
mic.
thing.
Hey, she's the representative now. I'm
That's
sorry,
the
that
perfect.
is
That's a perfect
not the
example.
way it works.
I was thinking about her too, man, because like I saw What Do You Meme? Have you ever seen the channel What Do You Meme?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was like talking about how she had been converted and got right. And I was a little skeptical. I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like that doesn't sound right. And I heard someone say, who remain unnamed, that maybe she's just looking for more attention from a different direction. So a lot of
Yep.
people that are in that F sphere are not there necessarily all for money. They're there for attention. They like the attention. So they can easily jump over to the church and get the attention there. Right? So she's
Yeah.
jumped in
Well,
back into church. I got my attention. I'm going to have both. I'm going to have my
I
account. and the
I heard
church.
so. I
With the
heard
attention.
one guy say that was commenting on this whole situation that actually it's just a strategy to get people that are backsliders. So you basically,
Maybe.
because and
Well,
there's a bunch of these traditional kind of guys that they're looking for a girl that is talking the talk, that's X, Y, and Z, and so now she can kind of seem like she's that, and then she
well,
can attract the attention of them and actually double, triple, quadruple her 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 base.
well, she could also have a backup plan for when she gets a little too old and no guys want to look at her anymore.
Oh
That she
yeah,
got
that's
the
right.
dude, got the guy to
That's right.
fall back on.
Right, right. She wants a God fearing man. In other
Yeah,
words,
so
one
you
that's
got to
going
get
to
some of those
ignore.
dudes in there too, to walk. Yeah,
Right,
you got to
right.
get everyone in there.
Right, right. One that's going to forgive her for all of her transgressions, and
All she's
she's
gonna do is
redeemed
ask
and saved
forgiveness,
by
man.
the blood
She's
of the
a
Lamb.
clean
Right.
virgin. She's a clean virgin again, right?
Oh
Clean virgin.
goodness. I
So
I
clean virgin.
and I don't want it to seem like. See, okay. So when I
It
talk about
reminds me of those
this,
guys in prison that just want to get out and they pretend to be religious and get out early. It's the
oh
same idea.
goodness.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to make it sound like I'm cynical and like people can't actually change
No, they
and
can't. They
people
can
can't
change that.
actually do the right thing. I don't want
Yeah.
to. I don't want to sound that way. Okay, but this okey doke move, we fall for this. Christians fall for this over and over and over and over. It's like they're the most gullible people on earth. You really believe that this woman that just got baptized and her OnlyFans content is still up, you really believe that she is totally sincere and not trying to pull your leg? I'm sorry. I need to see more. And
Right.
the
Oh,
thing
yeah, yeah,
is,
no. It's more
you're
nice. It's
supposed
more
to
nice.
test the spirits. The Bible
Oh,
says
yeah,
to
yeah,
test the
sure.
spirits to see if
Yeah.
that they're of God. Test the
I have
spirits.
more respect for the OnlyFans chick that says she's a Christian and still does it, but then somehow rationalizes it, even though it doesn't make sense, compared to this woman that says, "Yeah, I just got saved. I won't want to go to hell, so I've completely changed." But then she still got her account, right? So like she's a complete hypocrite, lying. She's not even following her own word. She's not even making any arguments. She's just straight up double life, straight up double life, and looks at you with a face like it's completely innocent, lying right to you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's really disgusting, actually. But like she even said, I didn't want to go to hell. She even put that in there. I heard her testimony. She's like, I don't want to go to hell. I'm like, well, okay. I mean, that's some very basic theology that you probably got when you're growing up in the Baptist church. I think she grew up in a Baptist church, right? And then she's like, I'm like, maybe she's legitimate and authentic, although I kind of don't believe it. And then I heard the next day a bunch of people sending me all this stuff about how she still has her account up and she's taking all these photos. And I'm like, okay. Just like I was
Hey,
thinking.
Red Hawk in the chat, no all caps. Do not type in all caps in the chat. You'll get blocked. Don't type in all caps. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I've got some other stuff. Let's keep the train moving here.
That's
Hold
mine.
up here. Here we go. Okay, so this is I saw this and I thought this was kind of interesting, and this is not the first time, and actually somebody mentioned this in the chat. This whole the sun and the moon being in Pisces or whatever, and so then they couldn't actually be in eclipse, and this has been faked, and or the sun is not in the place it's supposed to be, and some of this kind of talk. So let's hear what she's talking about.
People are talking about the eclipse, but they're not talking about this. The sun and the moon are not aligned on April 8th. They are in Pisces. Right now, if you go to your Skyview app and you push forward to April 8th, plug it in, it will show you that the sun and the moon are in Pisces. They are not aligned. They are sitting beside each other, but they are not aligned. How is that possible? Because the sun and the moon have been out of place since back in September 2023, I've been doing these videos telling you that the sun is not where it should be. People are telling me it's the calendar. The calendar's off. Don't worry about it. It's where the sun is in the sky that's different. It's not where it should be. This eclipse is showing you that I am telling you the truth. Because if we see an eclipse on April 8th, how is that possible? If the sun and the moon are in Pisces, it can't be an Aries eclipse, right? If the sun is in Pisces, and if the sun and the moon are not aligned, they have to be aligned in order for you to see an eclipse, correct? So I don't have to be a fucking astrophysicist to understand this, and neither do you. I'm trying to get this out to as many people as I can. Please share this because, I mean, this is just a no-brainer. These heavenly bodies are changing. They are not where they should be. And they damn sure will not show you an eclipse in the sky if they are not aligned.
I wonder what she means by that. I'm looking at an article that supposedly debunks her or something, the fact, check type article.
Right.
I'm trying to understand what she's saying. Like, what is she trying? Oh, she's trying to say that they're not aligned. Like right here, they're next to each other, I guess. Oh, wait, back up. So she's showing a picture where it's like the sun's here and the moon's here or something. Above horizon. What does that even mean, dude? There are several systems of astrology, and the position of the sun against actual astronomical constellations in the sky is not matched to the dates assigned to star signs of Western astrology. One striking example is the astronomical time for Scorpius, or Scorpio is only a week and not a month. Oh, so apparently this is people that are into astrology, and they say that it's not aligning within their system, but that's because they're not perfectly perfect systems. That's what this is claiming, I think. I don't know, man. That sounds weird. One of the things I wanted to point out that I thought was kind of weird about the whole eclipse, and a lot of people don't really see or understand this, is that you can't actually see the moon approach the sun. And when you look at the moon going in front of the sun, you see a reverse projection. You don't actually see literally the moon in front of the sun. You see like if you're in a movie theater and I'm running the camera and I put a penny in front of the camera, you'll see like the silhouette of a penny on the screen. You won't see my actual penny. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's almost like that's what you're seeing instead of an actual moon in front of the actual sun. And I had some theories as to why that was the case. I've talked about it before on video. And like I said, I feel like I'm not trying to explain like some sort of different viewpoint, but I feel like some things haven't been fully told to us because, again, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, you had the Foucault pendulum. Whenever there's a solar eclipse, it changes its angular position. Like it's rotating like this, and it, for some reason, changes more than it's supposed to during a solar eclipse, and it's supposed to follow the rotation of the Earth. If it was following the rotation of the Earth, it wouldn't matter if there's a solar eclipse. It should continue going the exact direction it always goes, but it changes. And I mentioned that it's because I believe we live in an electromagnetic universe, and the pendulum is actually following electromagnetic fields, not the rotation of the Earth. And I think there's a lot of things that are not really told to us. I think there's something potentially above us they don't tell us about. And so whenever they end up having to go up too high in space, I think they actually have to go through a certain section. I've talked about it on video before, and the reason why is because of there's a number of things that just don't make sense, like rainbows. You can make a rainbow outside with your garden hose, but if you go inside your house, you spray a spray bottle, you won't see a rainbow unless you go in front of your mirror. If you go in front of your mirror with a spray bottle and you spray, you'll see a rainbow. And that's because it takes two polarizers to make a rainbow. The water droplet's one polarizer, the mirror is the other polarizer. But outside, it only takes one. The spray bottle or your garden hose. Why is it? Where's the other polarizer? And I believe it's above us. Now some claim it's just the electro at the Kármán line you have the magnetic field that polarizes the light. This is what some claim, but to me that doesn't make sense. And notice it has to do with the magnetic field, electromagnetic. So why is it that? So I think there's something going on here. they either know this and they don't tell us and just pretend they don't, like someone knows this and they don't want us to know, because like scientists for 100 years haven't figured out why the Foucault pendulum changes, and they never tell you that there's a second polarizer to make a rainbow. And I've covered this on my channel. I don't have all the stuff pulled up right now, but it's actually it's some scientific stuff that doesn't make sense. And actually, another thing is you have all these experiments like the Michelson Morley and all these experiments where they expected certain results and they didn't get it. And then what they did is they explained away the results. And then even Einstein came up with the theory of relativity to explain away these results. So like they've had a number of tests, scientific experiments they've done that have literally given them the wrong results, and then they explain it away. They don't even actually they just literally explain away the results. So they haven't actually scientifically proved a number of things. It's really weird. I don't want to get into all of it here, but it's some weird stuff. Like the Sagnac experiment actually debunks Einstein's theory of relativity. And I don't want to get all geeky on this, but and I haven't talked to Sean about any of this either, but it's just really weird. Like, because Einstein said there was no ether in his theory of relativity, but then the Sagnac experiment actually proves there's ether. It's a rotating table that proves it, but they never teach it in school. So like they won't teach these things that debunk their theories in school. They only teach the theories that they want you to know, and they don't tell you that their experiments were all like gave the wrong results, and they just explained them away with theories. And even Nikola Tesla warned against this. He said all these guys are just I can even show that. He had a famous saying, Nikola Tesla, mathematical garb. It was about Einstein. Here it is. This is him. This Nikola Tesla is way smarter than Einstein, but they tell you Einstein's the smartest. But in this, here's a quote he said about Einstein's theory of relativity. Einstein's relativity work is a magnificent mathematical garb which fascinates, dazzles, and makes people blind to the underlying errors. The theory is like a beggar clothed in purple, whom ignorant people take for a king. Its exponents are brilliant men, but they are metaphysicists rather than scientists. And this is what I'm talking about. See, he saw all these experiments fail, and they explained them away with math. So they just come up with all these mathematical systems to explain away all the errors in their experiments. And he's like, this isn't real science. That's what Nikola Tesla said. And then what happened to Nikola Tesla? They burned all his books. And they totally disparage him today. And they don't exalt him at all. They exalt Einstein instead. So I thought that was really weird. Why do these earthquakes happen during a solar eclipse? Because there's an electromagnetic interference. This is what Nikola Tesla was talking about. But like, again, I feel like I'm kind of like not smart enough to fully explain this out. I think someone like him could explain it much better than what I'm talking about. But and it's hard to explain, without showing a bunch of stuff, which I can't really show because I don't have it all pulled up right now. But what do you think about any of that? Does that sound crazy?
No, no. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's some weird stuff, man. But yeah, I'm getting off on a rabbit trail, anyways.
No, that's cool. Here, let's talk about locusts, because that's one of the things in the title of the video. I got a locust map here. Let's see what this is talking about. Okay.
He said the locusts were right at the center of that. That was really strange. That's where they're mainly coming out, that's really weird, man. That's also where Rapture, Indiana is. That's where there's a Nineveh near there. There's the Noah Ark, Ken Ham's Noah Ark there.
Mm-hmm. And here's some locusts here. Let's check this out. All right. We do not want to see that.
Well, what's really weird is like in Saudi Arabia over the last 7 years, I think it was about 7 years ago, they had a bunch of locusts, and then they had this weird hail, really large hail afterwards. And then I think it was a year or two ago, they had it again. And it reminded me of like the plagues in Egypt where like they had the locusts, they had the hail. You know what I mean? And then you got this red heifer we are talking about, of course, as well from Texas, that they
Right.
sent to Israel. They sent 5 of them to Israel. And
All
of
right.
course, it
Yeah.
talks about that could bring in also a number of things from Bible prophecy as well. The whole red heifer
Okay.
thing.
Well, here let's go ahead and get into that because I've got some red heifer news here. Let's see what this is up with.
In Jewish tradition, the red heifer sacrifice holds profound significance, especially with the anticipation of constructing the third temple in Jerusalem. This temple is envisioned as a sacred space where humanity can once again worship and reconnect with the divine, highlighting a rekindled bond between God and people. According to Jewish law, the purify rituals necessary for the temple's construction and operation rely on the red heifer sacrifice. Its ashes mixed with water create a solution that ensures ceremonial purity for individuals and sacred objects. While the third temple's building isn't universally seen as signaling the end of the world, it is a pivotal moment in Jewish thought, sparking discussions on apocalyptic scenarios. Some foresee the temple's restoration as ushering in a new era of divine presence and spiritual renewal, leading to a messianic age of harmony and peace. However, there's a diversity of perspectives within Jewish theology regarding the circumstances and timeline of the temple's reconstruction. Some highlight human agency in fulfilling prophetic visions, while others believe it will occur under divine guidance, marking a period of redemption. It's essential to acknowledge the variety of interpretations among Jewish groups and scholars regarding eschatological events. While some view the temple's rebuilding as a positive step toward fulfilling biblical prophecies, others approach the topic cautiously, considering the complex geopolitical landscape and its implications. In conclusion, Jewish eschatology regards the red heifer sacrifice and the third temple's construction as significant elements, yet not necessarily indicative of the world's end. Instead, they are understood within the broader context of divine providence and the fulfillment of promises of salvation and restoration as outlined in the scriptures.
Okay. Let's see. Actually, that I'll play that later. But here's some more red heifer business. Let's see.
And I got some more to show in a minute here too. After this,
Okay.
or not? Maybe I'll send you the link. Actually, maybe that'd be better.
Okay.
Have you heard of the red heifer? This is wild. It's written for a temple to be rebuilt, which is a sign of the end of time. They will destroy Al-Aqsa Mosque in order to build over it.
The whole thing's gonna go. We have to build a temple.
Drop a follow if you disagree with this. To start this process, a red heifer will need to be sacrificed. There's only been 9 red heifers ever sacrificed. The last red heifer that got sacrificed was over 2,000 years ago. So, a cattle rancher in Texas got invited by these rabbis to go look for a red heifer.
This is AI.
And they found 5.
Yeah, I know.
The process was insane. They can never have been yoked. No one could have leaned on them. That's why it's been like 2,000 years. They determined, we finally found them. These 5 heifers are in Israel right now, being like protected. And they have 9 months to sacrifice this red heifer, as they can't be older than 3 years old. If this happens, we're now in the trajectory of end times prophecy stuff. What's crazy too is with each sacrifice, they always mix the ashes of the previous red heifers.
I could tell it wasn't him at one point. It's interesting though.
Well, he wouldn't talk on that topic. He wouldn't say some of that stuff. But
He would have said
the
something
information
different,
is
yeah.
still. But of course, the information is still good. So, let's
I
see
sent you.
here.
I just heard about this earlier today. There's actually some apocryphal books that talk about our time frame, and they talk about people getting overweight and having health problems in our time, like in the latter times. Like from the book of like the Apocalypse of Ezra. I gave you the link. This is crazy, man. I never even watched this. I just heard about this earlier today. So let's just see what this is.
All right.
This guy's name is Ken Johnson. He's a researcher into the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I've read one of his books. He's the guy who had like 7 different chronologies, these ancient chronologies, and actually showed you the entire history of humankind, and went back to like all these famous people, even the founder of England and stuff. Go ahead, man, play it.
All right, here we go.
The time when most of the prophecies would be fulfilled, and then the time of the second coming, which should start the kingdom age.
Yeah, which is really exciting. And when I looked into it, I was blown away to find out. I believe that we're right in the middle of the 9th week in that prophecy. And when you do the timing, the middle of the 9th week is 2025. Well, between 2025 and 2026, somewhere around there. But so we're like right on the doorsteps of that, which is really amazing. There's a couple of more obscure prophecies that you found, and I believe it was in the Apocalypse of Ezra, but correct me if I'm wrong, having something to do with our food and a problem with our memories in the end times. Can you explain that whole prophecy and how that probably connects with our time today?
Yeah, it's in the Ezra Apocalypse, but it's actually in some scrolls and several other places, probably 5 or 6 different places. It's just one of the prophecies of the end times. There's atmospheric things, there's wars, there's earthquakes, there's all sorts of different kinds of prophecies. But one of them is that we begin to develop problems with our health because of the kind of food we're eating and or what we're breathing or toxins of some sort. The basic teaching is that if you eat the proper herbs and you eat a proper diet and get plenty of exercise, which that was easy back then, that you basically can live to be 120. And most of the scrolls and even Josephus and other people from the first century said that the average Gentile lived to be about 60. The average Pharisee maybe 70 or so. The average Essene lived to be 120, just like they did back in Abraham's time or shortly thereafter. And so this whole idea of eating proper herbs and that kind of stuff. So then there's a set of prophecies that talk about it gets bad at the end times. So each church, for instance, or group of people is supposed to have a pastor who has a heart for the Lord, a prophecy expert, and an herbal medicine expert. If you don't have those 3 people in leadership, you don't really have a church. So I just thought that was interesting, the way they talk about it. But some of the things are, we developed this.
I mean, that isn't according to the early church's view of what you need.
This is from the book of the Apocalypse of Ezra, and I think what he's saying is we're just listening to what he's saying, but I haven't even read the book myself. But he's saying that basically memory problems is referring to Alzheimer's, and he's saying that the food we eat is referring to how we don't have a proper diet. They tell us not to eat seeds. They tell us people just go and eat like Skittles all day. You know what I mean? You're not going to live to 120 eating Skittles, right? So, and actually, when we were in high school, I used to eat Skittles every day at lunch. I remember doing that. That was my lunch, man. Really balanced diet back when I was in high school. But yeah, so I think what he's saying is that the fact that we're ignorant about our health, and of course, we just trust people that perhaps don't have our best interests in mind about our health, and perhaps they're just trying to make money off us. You know what I mean? So
right. Okay, I've got a little bit more red heifer business.
All right.
Let's see here.
This is not a second coming of Jesus Christ, because Jewish people do not believe Jesus Christ is the Messiah. So this will usher in this new Messiah for Jewish people. The last temple that was built and destroyed was 2,000 years ago by the Romans. So you mean to tell me it took them over 2,000 years to rebuild this third temple? That there were no other red heifers or red cows that were born between the last time the temple was destroyed and today. So it tells me that they found something, that there's something about this month of April, and that they found something that they can now go ahead with this ritual and usher in this Messiah. A month where all these bizarre and unique events are taking place. News and media are also letting us know that a condition that was discovered back in 2020, discovered in a man back in 2020 because he bumped his head, researched and investigated in 2021, well, 2022, 2023, nobody heard of this condition that they knew existed back in 2020. Well, oddly, in March of 2024, news and media are letting the public know that demon face syndrome exists, that people see demons, and that it's a condition. Now, going back to this demon particle they found in Illinois a year ago, They also state that these demon particles are very important to computing. In the realm of computing, demon particles may facilitate the development of novel electronic devices that operate with unparalleled efficiency. The absence of resistance with these devices could lead to the creation of ultra-fast, energy-efficient computers, marking a quantum leap in computational power. Now, what did Jordy Rose state, the founder of D-Wave, quantum computers? Or in my opinion, demonic
dude,
wave.
no way.
Well, he stated with quantum computers, they found the key to the abyss, and that they are summoning demons, a tidal wave of demons, and nobody's paying attention. As we bicker with politics, nobody realizes that they are ushering in, summoning in demons.
Okay. I've covered some of this stuff.
So what do you? Yeah. So what do you think?
Okay, multiple things. For one, he mentioned the demon face syndrome. I did a video on that, and actually it reminded me of this movie Smile. And also, someone pointed out it was like the song, the video for the song Black Hole Sun, where everybody's smiling, but they're not really. It's not like anybody's really there. You saw the preview for the movie Smile, right? Where they like keep smiling, but it's like a demonic smile, and it like scares the crap out of everybody. So this guy sees kind of like that. He sees everybody's face like it's a demonic face, and they're trying to claim it's like a condition, but it could be a spiritual condition, not a physical condition. And that's one. Two, I've talked about D-Wave computers. I didn't realize there was a demonic particle. That's really interesting. I never heard of that before. But what he's talking about actually is that they found a molecule that has both states at the same time. So there's no time from it going from on to off. There's no time. It's so quick. And that's how they're able to make these D-Wave computers. I know that. I didn't know that. I never heard of demonic particle. I have heard them talking about how they were summoning gods or demons or something. And the same has been said with AI. But with regards to the whole thing about the red heifer, everyone keeps saying 2,000 years ago is the last time they tried it. No, that is not true. They did try it after 2,000 years ago. They tried it in 300, and I can show this on the screen. They tried it. They tried to do a sacrifice, a temple. They tried to build a temple in 360 AD, 361, 362 AD, via Julian the Apostate, an emperor over Rome who was working with the Jews at that time to build a temple. And apparently there was some natural disasters that occurred when they tried to build the temple. So that stopped them from building it. And it's never since, they haven't done it until now. They might try to do it again, apparently. First, so they have to sacrifice the red heifer on Mount Olive. And that's to cleanse all the utensils and stuff for the tabernacle. But then after that, they're going to try to build the temple. But what if this happens again? You see what I mean? Like they tried to build it, and God's like, no, you're not going to build it. Right? So a lot of people don't even know about this. This happened where they tried to build it in 362 AD, and it was stopped. It was stopped. They were not allowed to build it. Apparently, it was some supernatural thing. They could say it was a natural disaster, whatever you want to call it, but it was stopped. They couldn't even build the wall. So that's why they haven't built it in so long. But all these other channels just keep saying it was 2,000 years ago. Actually, they've tried it before. So, but regarding I've never heard of the demonic particle thing, though. That's kind of weird. I wonder if that's related to D-Wave. He called it demonic particle. I'm going to look into that. D-Wave, demonic particle? I've never even heard of this. I've even researched this. Okay, this is weird. So it's how they describe it, maybe. Invisible demon discovered in odd superconductor. See, this is what I'm saying. They do this with all these things, like CERN, NASA. NASA had 3 rockets go up during the solar eclipse, and it was named after a serpent. What was it? Egyptian serpent god. And then, of course, CERN is built right on the temple of Apollyon. And then Apollyon is Shiva. And Shiva, they have that little Shiva statue there. Then, of course, quantum computing. And they talk about demon. What is this? They even said that the Hadron Collider was haunted because they're looking for ghost particles now. That was the thing I covered recently. Let's see what this is. Invisible demon discovered in superconductor. Physicists have long suspected that hunks of metal could vibrate in a peculiar way. that would be all but invisible. Now physicists have spotted these demon modes. I think they just call it demon modes. Physicists have detected an unusual demon wave of electrons that is invisible to electromagnetic radiation. Okay. So they're saying it's invisible, so it's like a ghost, right? It's like ghost particles you can't see. So this is something you can't see. So they're applying the spiritual realm to it. And of course, why wouldn't they say angelic? They say demons, perhaps because they have not the best motives. I don't know. David Pines formulated a phantom. He predicted the existence of seas of electric ripples that could neutralize each other, rendering the overall ocean motionless, even as individual waves ebbed and flowed. The oddity, which came known as Pines' demon, would be electrically neutral. So these guys, they think really strange. You see how that is? The same with the ghost particles that the CERN Hadron Collider was finding. It was something that goes through matter, and it's not easily detectable. They detected 7 different exotic versions of these ghost particles in Antarctica, of all places. So it really makes you wonder what we're talking about. Are we going between the physical and the spiritual now? Are we talking about kind of like the combination of the two? Because they seem to be talking that way, right? They've been talking of like they're demons and ghosts, right? So are we talking about the physical and the spiritual being melded, and then they're just not fully telling us what's going on? I don't know. I've heard of also some of these scientists from CERN allegedly saying that there are things opening up and things coming through. And I've actually seen one of the scientists literally on video being on a documentary being interviewed about this, and he said this. So it's really kind of strange. It makes you wonder what they're really doing. Are they really just trying to find, the origins of the universe, or are they doing something much, much more nefarious? I don't know. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is pretty strange.
What do you think? Why do you think they call them all these ancient goddess names and demons and stuff like that? Do you think there's literally something involved there? Or are they just messing with people's heads? Or do you think they're trying to tell us something without telling us something? What do you think?
I think it could be anywhere from, in league with the devil to basically almost as a, almost as an act of irreverence.
Mockery or
let's pick these in mocking, right? Let's pick these names because we know these religious, knuckle dragger Bible thumpers, they're going to have an issue with us using these. But let's use these because we know this stuff doesn't actually mean anything, So it could be that too.
I feel like there's got to be more to it than that because you're going to get the occasional scientist that will do what you're saying, but they seem to do it everywhere now. It's CERN, it's NASA, it's like quantum computing, it's AI. Everywhere you go, they're like demons and gods are behind this. And like, seriously, why are you saying that, dude? You're obviously not trolling us. They're actually look sincere. Some of these guys talking about this sound very sincere. You can go watch some of these few years back. They'd have these guys talking about quantum computing, and they would literally talk about there's like a god or a demon behind it, and they're like serious while they're talking about it. And the same with also CERN. You hear like weird, like TED Talks like this, and you're like, what is going on here? Are they serious? You could say you can imagine one or two of them trolling you like that, but like everyone like in these realms doing this, like what's going on here? I think there's got to be more than trolling. But
yeah, I mean that's what I said. I said,
it's somewhere
it could be
in there,
anywhere from just trolling to something
really
deeper. So it's hard to tell. But here let's a little more red heifer.
Probably wanting an update on the red heifer situation in Israel. Well, they currently have 4 red heifers that are of age and ready to be part of the red heifer purification ceremony for Israel. They also have the land purchased, and they want to do it right now, but the problem is that because of all of the increase in violence in that region, that the Israeli government has not given them permission to do the red heifer sacrifice.
Okay, so maybe there's some
We're
question
entering-
marks.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. What's going on, dude?
And here I want to show one. This is my last video I'm going to show, and this is of the eclipse from in an airplane, and this is right on cue with Nat M saying the hype for Eclipse was ridiculous. Yeah. So here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The final countdown.
So you can see it there. Yeah.
Notice. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Totality. There's weird things with regards to the horizon line. You notice the horizon line was flat and still in the center. There's some things that people have pointed out with regards to that. The higher, like you can even see with like the International Space Station, you can find pictures where it looks flat like that, and in the center, and you're like, what's going on here? Now, of course, there's a lot of people that they have lots of different arguments regarding this. I personally feel like, I feel like we're in a simulation, man. I really do, actually. I don't think we're in like some matrix or something, but I feel like God put us in a simulation where it appears to be some way. But like, for instance, like if you take the game Grand Theft Auto, they didn't make the planet Earth and make it revolve around the sun and then like zoom in on a city and then like, oh, here's the city of whatever, Los Angeles or something. What they did is they just made a fake gravity, a fake everything, and made it appear like everything above you is, the galaxies and the sun and the moon and all that. And what if we're living in something like that where it's a simulation? Sounds kind of crazy. But
no.
Who knows, man? What if we're in you have that Truman Show with Jim Carrey, man? Never know.
And maybe we're actually inside the Matrix with that thing plugged into the back of our head.
That's what I'm saying, man. Maybe not that, but
we're just basically human batteries.
If you ask Elon Musk, he was talking about this in 2016. He says there's like 99.9% chance that we're already in a simulation. This is what he said. I don't agree with his exact argument, but I always wondered, could we be in some sort of simulation by God? God created the earth the way it is. Maybe we think it's a certain way that really isn't, we think it's this or that.
Right. So created with the appearance of what it is that he wants us to perceive.
But like if we go up too high, maybe we'll hit something. There was a thing called Operation, Fishbowl, back in the 1960s, I think it was the 60s, where they tried to nuke the sky. And why would they try to nuke the sky? And they called it fishbowl, like we're stuck in a fishbowl. So that was something interesting. I thought was, who knows? Maybe that's related. But
yeah.
I'm getting, bro. I took it too far with the tinfoil hat earlier. So, yeah.
Oh no! Our folks love the tinfoil.
You didn't wear it long enough,
That's
man. You didn't wear it long enough.
That's right. We just, in all good conscience, we can't wear it on the broadcast. We can't wear our hats on the broadcast. We will put those back on after it's over, though, to make sure that we're nice and tuned in for next week's show, which will be Tuesday. Keep in mind our new show time is Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday. So we'll see you next time on Two Dads React. Like the video on the way out, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go over to Tony on God Rules. Go and support him. If you look in the name of the video, the title, you can click those ats and it'll send you directly to his channels. Make sure you subscribe, join, buy the merch, support, all of that stuff. He's got promotions every once in a while. Make sure you participate in those. Also, I'm trying to become platform agnostic. There is a link to my Rumble in the description to this video. please click that, head over to Rumble and follow me over on Rumble. And also, I'm trying to grow my Discord, so click the Discord link and join my Discord, and then of course become a channel member, where you'll get access to all archive videos. And there's literally thousands of archive videos on the channel that you can only access if you're a member of the channel, at least at the master's degree level. All kinds of great things going on. Make sure you come back tomorrow morning for Rolling Thunder. That's my morning program, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday. And the Friday show is always an open panel. So we're getting it in. Thank you for being here, and keep your tinfoil hat handy.
Exactly.
See you later.
See you guys.
All right.